Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, with our main topic today. Egypt has recently launched several initiatives in order to promote the production of renewable energy industries. To shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have this phono with our dear guest, Dr. Maged Karam, the Executive Chairman of Regional Renewable Energy Center. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Well, Dr. Karam, what is the importance of Egypt's expansion in the production of new and renewable energy?
Well, there are numerous benefits of the expansion of Egypt toward renewable energies in general, and particularly solar and wind technologies. First of all, this contributes very well to energy security. Energy security in terms of diversifying the energy resources that we have and that we rely on, so that we are offering better economic opportunities for growth in Egypt. The second is I would say, the climate reason. As you know, Egypt is a climate leader worldwide. We have just hosted the COP27, and by relying on renewable energies, especially solar and wind, we are somehow demonstrating that we are on the track of the general, I would say, worldwide trend that we go into clean technologies. We are committed to do that. We are able to do that, and we are going in a scale that would help us to contribute to the global actions toward mitigating climate change. This is another important reason.
Yes.
The third reason is the socio-economic benefits. And by resorting to renewable technologies, we are also somehow creating job opportunities. We are expanding the investment to companies that can be into partnership between international financing institutions, developers, investors from local and international communities, and also in public-private partnerships.
Yes.
And on all these together, in fact, brings a huge benefit to the Egyptian economy.
Yes, Dr. Karam, one of the type of renewable energy project being implemented is the establishment of wind power stations, solar energy, and also a green hydrogen. So can you elaborate on why this type in specific?
Okay, first of all, because we have the resources. And the resources that we are discussing here are solar and wind. For solar, we are among what's called sun-belt countries. These countries are enjoying a high amount of solar radiation that almost, I would say, triple the energy production when we compare the production in a country like Egypt and, for example, in Europe. So for the same area, and we have plenty of area, and this is another important aspect, for the same area, we can produce higher amount of electricity. This is one reason, the resources. And for wind, it is similar. We have several locations in Egypt, on the Gulf of Suez, also in the Western Desert near Bani Suef, etc. We have good wind regimes, wind resources, high wind speeds that are, in fact, covering several hours of the year, what we call in engineering capacity factor, high capacity factor. And with these wind resources, we can have also good electricity production from wind energy. Green hydrogen is one of the, I would say, the opportunities for the future of Egypt. Why hydrogen and why green? Green hydrogen refers to hydrogen produced through renewable resources, which means that we are using the electricity from renewable resources like solar and wind to power an electrolyzer. The electrolyzer itself, in fact, gets an input, which is water, and then split this water into hydrogen and oxygen. So the process of production of hydrogen would become green. This is why we call it green hydrogen. Of course, there are other types like blue hydrogen, which is produced by natural gas, but also we capture CO2 emitted, so it is somehow also clean. Other types of hydrogen are gray and black, and these are produced by conventional fuels, and they are polluting the environment. So when we are telling the world that we are working to have green hydrogen economy, and this green hydrogen is produced by our renewable resources, which is very much competitive in the international market when it comes to the prices, because we have good resources, and we have also the elements that would ensure that we have a conducive investment environment in terms of partnerships, in terms of lower taxation, lower customs, availability of land, proximity of electricity grids, the availability of roads to transport the equation, the shipping ports that we can have equipment from and to them, and so on.
Yes.
So when we are offering this opportunity, we are also offering an opportunity to produce hydrogen that is used not only for electricity, but, for example, for industry, for production of ammonia. And this, in this sense, it's called the green ammonia, which is used blindly in different industries. For the production of hydrogen, for the use in the steel industry, so it becomes also green steel. So this is an opportunity to green sectors that traditionally we thought it was hard to abate, hard to have it green, to become lower in CO2 emissions. So we are expanding the scope, not just from electricity production, but also to other sectors. And we call this power to X. So from electricity to industry, from electricity to the transportation sector, e-mobility, to electric vehicles, and so on. So in fact, this is an important, I would say, approach that Egypt is showcasing, that we are taking a leadership in that.
Yes, Dr. Karam, during the COP27 climate change conference hosted by Egypt in the Red Sea resort of Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt have signed an agreement with the United Arab Emirates in the presence of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, and also with the presence of Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, of the President of the United Arab Emirates, in order to establish the largest wind farm in the world. So give us your insight concerning the importance of this agreement.
First of all, what we call South-South collaboration and Pan-Arab collaboration. It is not only now that we are relying on international investors, IFIs, international financing institutions, but we are now showing the world that regional and cross-regional arrangements can be also empowering the future of the world toward the green hydrogen and the green technology likewise. And this demonstrates also the strength of the relation between Egypt and Emirates, and also other agreements with signed with Saudi Arabia companies and so on. This is a business relation based on win-win situation, but also demonstrate I would say, the trust, the confidence of the Arab investors, that when they are investing in Egypt, they have a secure investment and a profitable one, and these investments would contribute to enlarging their portfolio of actions worldwide, not only in Egypt. And here, the most important part is the size of these investments. When you know that the Egypt is targeting 42% renewable energy by 2035. And when you quantify this into megawatts, the installed capacities, this would translate into around 50 gigawatts, 50,000 megawatts of installed electricity. And when you have one agreement with Emirates for several gigawatts, and another agreement with Saudi Arabia with several megawatts, this means that you have secured a substantial part of your plan, of your future prospects for renewable energy. Already you have made sure that we are going to have this installed. So we are somehow realizing our targets with this massive size of investment. We are empowering the economy with foreign direct investments. We are strengthening our relation with Arab investors, and we are building a business case that is hard, in fact, for other countries to promise such excellent business case.
Yes, so Dr. Karam, and how would this agreement of the wind farms would serve the goals of the sustainable development?
Through plenty of things. When we say a wind farm, we are not just speaking about a simple machine. We are speaking about a turbine, wind turbine, that needs steel for the towers, that needs electrical works in terms of generators, in terms of cables, transmission line, transformers, etc. Some of this can be sourced locally. It means foundation work through our civil engineering companies. It means transportation of equipment, which would mean empowering the transport sector, and you'll have drivers, the trucks, etc., economy working on. It means also that you would have also shipments coming to Egypt, the ports would. What I'm saying that you have a value chain that is created, and the outcome of this is green electricity, which will also contribute to the growth of Egypt significantly. So you are having, I would say, a value creation all over the project cycle. Starting from the inception, the design is done by mostly Egyptian engineers, because the companies are having part of this agreement that you would establish what we call SPV, Special Purpose Vehicle, a local company that would manage the project, design, manage, develop, and operate the project afterwards.
Yes.
Once you have this is localized, and you can imagine the value created along the value chain, the entire value chain since the inception, the design, till the construction of the project, till the operation and maintenance and the creation of job opportunities all over this value chain, you can imagine the size of economy that we are building through this project, and not alone on other projects.
Yes, Doctor, and how is Egypt's location is suitable for establishing renewable energy projects, and especially the wind farms?
Okay, for the location, wind is not like solar; it is not available everywhere. And when you look into the places globally or even regionally, which enjoys high wind speeds, high wind regime that is stable and you can use for electricity production, you'll find that Egypt is endowed with several locations that can host large-scale wind farms. And these large-scale wind farms are somehow also not that much far from the electricity grids, which means that the cost you would pay for connecting these locations, these wind farms, to the grid will not be high. And when Egypt is offering that we will do the interconnection, we will connect from the unified electricity grid to the project, we are offering a good, I would say, incentive to the investment. Again, we are on the middle of three continents, I would say, Africa, Asia, and Europe. And this is a strategic location. And the project sites, if they are in the Gulf of Suez, for example, which hosts one of the largest wind farms worldwide, we call it a wind farm or a wind power station, both are equal as a terminology. For this, it is very near to the Suez Canal. And you can imagine combining this hydrogen electricity, this green electricity from wind and solar, especially wind in this case, to green hydrogen that is being on the economic zone of Suez Canal, and then exporting this hydrogen as a product, ammonia, or shipping fuel, through the Suez Canal. You are providing, I would say, a new domain for the entire global economy that they can transfer faster to green economy.
Yes. So, Dr. Karam, to what extent do you see the importance of the partnership with the private sector in establishing the renewable energy projects?
This is an important question. Thank you very much for this question. In fact, there is no other way but to rely on private investments and public-private partnerships when it comes to power generation facilities in the future. Worldwide, the role of governments is to regulate, is to organize, is to make sure that the pricing is right, the regulations are in place, the rights of the consumers are protected, but not to intervene in the market through state-owned facilities. And this market approach has been, in fact, very successful worldwide when it comes to electricity and also energy. And how this would impact the future. First of all, the efficiency of establishing and operating power plants in general and renewable energy projects also are much higher when we compared globally, not only in Egypt, but globally. When you compare those operated by state-owned facilities, state-owned utilities, and those operated by private sector. And when you compare the efficiency, you'll find much higher production coming from those who are owned by private sector. So we are bringing better also value to the electricity production and the energy production in general. This is one side of the equation. But another more important side is that we know how difficult is the economic situation worldwide. And in fact, to inject billions as investments in projects, while private sector can provide this investment and then sell you only electricity at a reasonable price over 20 years, this means that you would save the investment cost and then you pay only for several years. This is a different mindset. And instead of putting a lot of investments, and this would require debts, and this would require also obligations towards financing institutions, you are putting this risk on the investor side while you are securing him with a long-term power purchase agreement with a reasonable price, and that at the end of the project we can have it transferred, or we can have a new project in the same part of the on the same location, I mean on the same site. And in fact, we can think about this is a way of wealth management, that you have good wind and solar resources, and you have land available, and you have electricity interconnections, and you are offering this as somehow a package to the investor that you can come and have a win-win situation. You will secure income with profit for more than 20, 25 years, while we will secure our electricity without paying in advance for this project, and it is a win-win situation.
Yes, I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information. Dr. Maged Karam, Executive Chairman of the Regional Renewable Energy Center. Thank you very much for joining us over the phone. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have a short break, and I'm going to be back with you.